Welcome to 33 Founders, a series about founders of the coolest startups. Brought to you by 33 Voices and hosted by Chase Jennings and Jenna Abdu.
I'm Kim Kaupe. And I'm Brittany Hodak, and we're the co-founders of a New York-based entertainment company called ZinePak. We started the company in January 2011. Our original goal was to enhance the recorded music experience, so transforming a traditional CD to something like this that's called a ZinePak that features one or more discs, but also has lots of really great original engaging editorial. So this was our first product. And over the past 2.5 years, we've really evolved the company to focus on engaging with super fans wherever they are and whatever it is that they're a super fan of. So we've expanded into verticals such as fashion, movies, sports, and we just started doing ticketing projects for the very first time. So I actually have a ticket project to show you guys. Everybody who went to the Mumford & Sons Gentlemen of the Road concert series this summer in the US or Canada received this in lieu of a physical ticket. So instead of just printing like a really boring ticket off of, Ticketmaster.com, you get this really fun passport that's interactive, so you can get stamps at the venue based on the bands that you see and the craft beers that you try and local food that you try. And every one of these was individually printed with the name of the attendee. So it's a really fun, really great way to sort of reimagine what ticketing should look like in 2011, and we're really excited to do more projects like that in the coming months.
That's amazing. It looks so good.
How cool. So let's pretend that I'm a band sort of like Mumford & Sons one day. Fingers crossed.
You got good, so you're halfway there.
Yeah. What kind of things would you include in my ZinePak? Do you customize it?
Yeah, so all the content in every ZinePak really depends on the artist or brand or celebrity that we're working with. Some people talk about their childhood and it has baby photos, and some people talk about their passions like cooking and recipes. Some people are very involved in philanthropy, and some of our artists are very adamant about putting their charity partners in it and ways for fans to get involved and donate. So each ZinePak has really different content depending on A, what the artist wants to talk about, and B, what makes sense for the package. Is it an album release? Is it a Christmas package? Or is it a ticketing concept for an upcoming tour?
What are some of your favorite ZinePaks that you guys have created?
Oh, that's like asking about a favorite child. Yeah, I have so many different favorites because every one of them is special for different reasons. In terms of just getting to work with the bands, I really love the Kiss one because I was such a huge Kiss fan growing up. So getting to work with the guys to put that together was really great. In terms of the insert items, I love so many of the insert items that we've done. We've done trading cards for a lot of bands, which is always a lot of fun. We've done really fun accessory pieces. Right now, my favorite one is probably our most recent one, which we did for Selena Gomez for her fan club, because it's the first ZinePak to include augmented reality. So fans can actually watch exclusive videos from Selena and see all of these great photo galleries that she put together and listen to our exclusive interview with her directly from the pages of the ZinePak. So that's pretty neat for me. Yeah, I think one of my favorites was the Beach Boys. They're such an iconic group, and they were amazing to work with and super kind to Brittany and I. But it's hard. I love all of them for different reasons. Like Brittany said, everything from the insert, the art, the artist. It's hard to pick a favorite. I'll tell you, we have some really, really cool ones coming out between now and the end of the year. So if you were to ask us this question 3 months from now, the answer might be completely different, because we're working on some really cool stuff right now that kind of raises the bar.
And is it all physical stuff? Will you ever start adding some digital features, maybe an interactive website or some kind of component like that?
Yeah, we've done an iBook before. The Kiss one that Brittany referenced, it was available in the iBook store, which was really fun for us, and we'll probably do some more releases towards Q4 of this year that involve iBooks, which is always fantastic for us to do. But the augmented reality is a new digital component that we're really excited about, and something that not a lot of people are doing right now. So we're really kind of looking forward to blazing a trail in that space. Perfect. Yeah. Hopefully by that point we'll have some ticketing concepts that have augmented reality integrated. So imagine that before you go to your favorite concert, you can scan the ticket with your phone to see the set times, a copy of the set list, go behind the scenes with interviews with the bands, and even do a virtual photo booth where you can take your picture with that band on the stage. So those are some of the things that we're working on right now and hope to roll out before the end of the year.
That's awesome. Amazing. Congratulations on that. I'm awestruck right now.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so you guys have a pretty interesting company, and let's just face the facts. Despite this plummeting music industry, your company grew 400% last year, and your number one distributor is Walmart, so there's lots and lots of success all around. But what was your biggest challenge getting there, specifically getting your products onto the shelves before you had established credibility?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the hardest things for us and just continues to be something that we are always overcoming is just kind of creating this new space. You know, ZinePaks didn't exist before. It wasn't as if we were doing something differently. It was a product that didn't even exist. Same way with this ticketing concept, you know, that's not how tickets work right now. So just kind of getting people an education process to get them to understand our vision and what we're trying to do and what it could be. I think that's a daily challenge that we always face. And for me, one of the ones that continues to always reoccur.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw Jobs yesterday, and one of the big themes, have you guys seen it?
No.
Not
yet. One of the big themes in the movie was that Steve says, we're creating something that people don't even know that they want yet because they've never experienced it before. And so, like everyone knows, he had such a knack for everything being perfect and each little detail being really just tailored completely to the user. So when you guys are creating your product and when you first started, no one knew, like you said, what it was. So was it difficult to finally just stand back and say, okay, it's done, because you just maybe you wanted to keep adding to it or you weren't really sure what atmosphere you were going into?
Yeah, that's a great question. We sort of deal with that every single day in every single project that we do, because with the music industry specifically, everything is last minute. So we'll be working with artists and saying, listen, guys, we have to go to print on your ZinePak or it's not going to come out in 3 weeks with your album. And they say, well, but I haven't decided how I'm going to sequence the tracks yet, or I haven't decided which of these songs are going to make the final cut of the album. So we're constantly trying to balance perfect with complete. And, you know, obviously perfect is always the goal, but sometimes done is better than not done. So we've constantly evolved our product, and we've done about 35 ZinePak releases now, and we truly feel like each one has a little bit more than the one before it in terms of making tweaks to the package and the process and the way that we do things. So I think with any company with a new product, it's constantly about evolution. The first 2 releases that we did back in 2011 were for a brand called KidSpot that does kids releases, and for the Academy of Country Music Awards. And they were very different content-wise. The kids one had all kinds of games and puzzles and activities, and then the country-based one was all interviews. So for the next several months, as we use those in showpieces during meetings to say, you know, this is our product, this is what we're doing, people said, oh, well, it just works for kids and countries. I can't do this for my rock artist, or I can't do this for my rap artist, because they couldn't get outside of the product that was in front of them and understanding that, you know, we could tailor it to anyone or anything. So that's something that we struggled a lot with from sort of consumer and customer perception early on. And now, thankfully, we've done ZinePaks for just about every genre of music and been able to show that, you know, we don't really have a traditional demo. We like to say that our demo is the super fan. People who care enough about an artist or a property to want to learn more, that's who we're really writing for every day.
Awesome, and we'd like to consider you guys huge startup champions. It's been an amazing 2 years for you. You've even been recognized by Wall Street Journal as Startup of the Year.
Everyone go vote for them, by the way.
Yay!
And just watching that has been such a fun experience. You guys know that you're really successful, and I love that everything you say, it's never I, it's always we. And in your bio, it says, individually we're awesome, but together we're unstoppable. I really like that model. So here's one question. If one of you has to go away for 2 weeks, how does the company survive?
This is my first day back in the office. I was in LA all last week, so we just tag team. It's like having a baby and a parent. And mom went away, and dad's watching the kid. Brittany's going away next week, and I'll have the office with all of our employees. And at the end of the day, you know, going back to the we statement, it's not even just Brittany and I. I mean, a lot of the times people see us and we're flattered, but we have an amazing team behind us. We have a fantastic staff who are awesome. They work so hard and so diligently on all of these projects. So really, even when we say we, a lot of the times it's not even just us. It's our whole team behind us who are just awesome.
Yeah, we're also huge advocates of people starting companies together. We meet all of these founders who have a company by themselves, and honestly, I don't know how they do it because, and this is something I say a lot, but I think it's so accurate. Having a co-founder is probably the closest you'll ever get to cloning yourself. So, you know, imagine how hard it is to start a business. If you could have two of you, it would be a lot easier. And that was kind of the belief that we started out with from day one was, you know, we're more than the sum of our parts. And that's sort of the mentality that's carried us through. And now as we have these 6 full-time employees, it's really great to think about together the 8 of us can do so much more than the 8 of us individually. So, you know, sort of figuring out what everybody's strengths are and letting everybody do what they love, but also what they're really great at. It really does make us feel sometimes like we're unstoppable when we're facing a brand new challenge that we've never dealt with before.
You guys are unstoppable. I love it.
And it's obvious how hard you guys work, and there's even a fun little video about how hard you work where you're talking about how your company culture used to embrace 20-hour work days. And it rubbed off on your employees until you realized, hey, I don't want this lifestyle. So you guys went out for a manicure day. So the notion there is that you guys aren't saving lives, and just to take it a little bit easier, have you guys taken any more manicure days since though? Maybe ice cream sandwich days? I mean, did the lesson stick with them?
Actually, yeah. Last week, one of our employees sent an email and said, it's a beautiful day. Why don't we all take an hour-and-a-half lunch break and go eat at Shake Shack in Madison Square Park? So we said, okay, and we closed up the office, and we all went together as a team to Madison Square Park and had burgers and milkshakes and enjoyed the beautiful weather in New York City.
That's awesome. One of the things that always comes up when we're talking to different founders is that work-life balance, like Chase referred to. How do you guys do that in your life personally?
I think for me, it's a lot of scheduling. I joke all the time that I want my mom to like send me an Outlook to talk because I have a very distinct, everything is in my phone of, you know, buy a birthday card for my cousin or talk to my dad this week or, you know, go out with friends at least once. And I think if you don't schedule it, it's easy, you know, like Brittany said, to get caught up in the office and you think, oh, I'll send one more email or, oh, I'll do one more proposal. And before you know it, it's 8 o'clock at night and you've done that the last 3 nights. So just making a conscious effort to, you know, connect with friends or family or loved ones and really, you know, stop yourself. Because I think that's a problem for most entrepreneurs because it really is a labor of love. You love your business. You know, I haven't been to work in 2.5 years. I love coming to ZinePak every day. I love what we do. It's so fun. It's so creative that you just kind of have to block out time for yourself, I think.
I know that's something that you have encouraged with your team as well. What's the most important thing you've learned about managing a team as you guys have grown?
I think the most important thing that I personally have learned is that everybody has a different management style. So to be a manager doesn't mean that you're going to sort of dictate how things are going to be done and then your employees are going to do it. All of our employees have very different learning styles. They're motivated by different things. They enjoy doing different things and they have different strengths. So a large portion of our time has been spent trying to figure out how to best utilize these unique strengths of each employee, but also how to talk to them and manage them up in a way that we want all of our employees to be very entrepreneurial. We want all of them to take pride in this company and feel like that what they're doing has the potential to make a huge impact on our future, because it does. So we kind of say all the time, everybody has a bit of a new business role. When our employees say, oh, I'd love to have a ZinePak for XYZ, we say, great, get it done. reach out to somebody, get on LinkedIn, start sending emails. If you want to make it happen, let's make it happen. So I think it's a lot about empowering people on your team to feel like that they have the permission and encouragement and support to do what they want to do, but also knowing that everyone's going to react very differently. We have a lot of what we call town hall meetings to discuss projects, because we found that if 5 people are on a conference call and hear a client request something, those 5 people can take away very different perceptions of what was said and what was meant. So we like to regroup as a team. And again, going back to that mantra of together, we're much stronger than we are individually, talking through how we can make every project be something that fans are going to absolutely love.
So we've talked about you, we've talked about your team. Now let's talk about the customer. And I see tons of great feedback from all of your customers, but have you ever gotten any bad feedback? Has there ever been anything brutal? And how did you deal with that?
I think most of our fans have been really great. And it's never brutal feedback. A lot of the times it's just, people will tweet and say, I wish there were more pictures of Taylor Swift. And you have to say, well, there's 96 pages, so there are quite a few pictures, but I'm sure we could have stuffed 2 more in there. So, you know, a lot of the times it's just our fans wanting more, which obviously we always support, and, you know, we always agree with them. We say, yeah, we'd love next time, let's do a 200-page ZinePak. So most of our feedback, if it's, you know, if you consider that negative, is just people always wanting more.
Yeah, we were joking. Last year, we put out a Justin Bieber ZinePak and a Beach Boys ZinePak around the same time. And we were kind of bracing ourselves for the Belieber feedback. We were like, we're going to get all kinds of crazy emails from Justin fans asking questions and wanting more. And we did. But we were shocked that we got probably twice as many emails from the Beach Boys fans who had a bazillion questions and were asking things like, well, was this track recorded in mono or stereo? And what type of recording device was used? And, you know, could I get the entire audio from the interview with my love? Just like everything you can imagine. You know, people that were like, we chronicled the band throughout their 50-year career. And there was one guy who had counted the number of times each person's face appeared in a group shot, and he was like, I noticed that you've used more pictures from this era than from this era, and was that intentional, and what about these members? So there's a lot of people who put honestly way more thought into the content than we're putting into it when we're just trying to make the best product possible. So yeah, lots of very passionate Beach Boys fans.
I think that's what keeps you guys going, though, and I know that not only are you guys producing great things, but you also have a really amazing scholarship and internship program for young girls. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, obviously, Brittany and I both got our starts as interns. We love internships. We always have an intern. We love, actually, one of the interns from last summer got hired on full-time after graduation. So she started in May of this year. So we're really excited to have her on the team, and we're very into, you know, fostering that intern to full-time employee track and growth, because we were both fortunate enough to experience that. So one of the things that we're trying to do and launch, which will start next summer, is kind of this New York internship experience where we pick one person to come to New York for a summer, intern with us, and have, you know, their housing paid for, and just have a really awesome summer in New York City working at an entertainment company.
Gosh, well,
you have one applicant already.
Maybe even 2 if you'll take a Zine boy.
Yeah.
We would love a Zine boy.
Yeah. I'm curious, though, regarding your interns. How do you keep them inspired, and how do you make sure they're on track and really challenging themselves?
Well, I think that's pretty easy for us because we're a small company. And Kim and I both had the experience of interning for a lot of large companies. And at a lot of large corporations, it's that typical grunt intern work that you hear so much about. It's you're looking over a report, you're double checking memos, you're going out for coffee. But at ZinePak, our interns are really, really hands-on. They get to be research assistants. They get to help with the interview questions for the celebrities. They get to help with editing copy. And it's really an immersive look at what it means to work at a startup. We typically have an intern that'll be really involved with all of our social media. So they're getting to really learn all about the company, both from the internal standpoint, but also from our fan engagement and client engagement online. So we really try hard to make sure that our interns feel like they are just as an important part of the team as everybody else. And I hope we've done a good job of that. I think we've done a good job of that.
And when do you know that you can hire them as a full-time Zine staff?
For us, it's just really, knowing that the passion is there, knowing that some people that we've, talked to and this is for other jobs too, being in a startup is scary to them, which we totally understand. It's not a corporate environment. You're not coming to work from 9 to 5 and doing the same 3 tasks every single day. So that's sort of development. We've had interns before who love working for us, but realize, I want something with a little more structure, and I want something with a little more, I come in every day and I work in Excel every single day. And, that's not ZinePak.
Right.
We're all hands on deck, and there's a lot of different things going on. And, your job role might be marketing, but all of a sudden at the last minute, our publicist might need help wrangling a celebrity. So that's your job for the next 2 hours. So, it really depends. And so some people, I think, don't respond well to that. So we just try to make sure that the people that we're bringing on, whether they're interns or not, really understand that culture and are passionate about it and want to get involved in it.
All right, so let's look into the future then. Brittany, let's say you've already worked with Garth Brooks, and Kim, let's say you've already put out Jimmy Buffett ZinePaks. So then what? What needs to happen by 2015 for you to define ZinePak as entirely successful?
Wow.
I think for me, a lot of it is going to be this ticketing and this digital and augmented reality interaction. We really want ZinePak to be the name that people think of when they think of fan celebrity engagement. We are always thinking about what it was like when we were younger, and even now with our favorite bands. What do we want? What do we want with our favorite athlete? What do we want with our favorite movie? What is that behind the scenes access that we feel like we're part of the, outer circle? Like, how do we get to the inner circle? How do we feel like we are front row or backstage with those things that we love? And that's what we want to continue to do with ZinePak, is get people closer to the things that they love so that they feel like they're having this amazing, intimate experience with the celebrities they love on a level that was never available to them before.
Is there an industry that you guys are particularly excited about expanding to?
I think passionate-wise, Brittany and I both big sports fans.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Watch sports all the time. So I think selfishly for us, obviously there's lots of different arenas that we'd like to get in business-wise, but I think scoring some free tickets to some football games wouldn't hurt.
That's perfect. I'm going to wait for the Redskins ZinePak.
Awesome. Hopefully you won't have to wait too long. We've got a lot of sporting stuff in the works right now. So hopefully our first sports ZinePaks will be available at the beginning of 2014.